Hey guys, welcome in, welcome in. Happy Saturday. I'm glad to see you all here. Welcome in to my Saturday weekly meetings. I welcome you all. I am not one for long welcomings, Hi, hello, nice to see you. Let's get started. I want to talk to you guys today about many things I have to tell you about today, okay? But we have quite the list to go through, so you guys just get ready, buckle your seatbelt, get your fermented tea, do what needs to be done, Habibi. Get your hookah, your shisha, your hashish, whatever you do, I don't judge. Let's begin. Let's begin. As you guys know, RFK dropped out of the race and said that he's supporting Donald Trump, which is very, very strange because obviously he's a Democrat, but he's not a leftist. Now, you guys remember how on Thursday we had that conversation. Now, I know Thursday is not my normal day to be here, but some of you guys were here with me on Thursday. You guys remember we had that conversation? Remember what we said? We said that the Democrat Party is having a war within itself right now about their identity and what they're going to proceed as. Part of that war that the Democrat Party is having has been exposed through RFK because RFK represents this small portion of Democrats that are still moderate, that are still common sense based, logic based. He represents that section of the Democrat Party that still desires to be normal. And you know what makes it look really bad? You know what's really bad, guys? We didn't have this happening back in 2016. We didn't see this in 2016. And 2020, we saw maybe one or two as well, but 2016, we never saw this. Now we're seeing Democrats outwardly supporting Republican, and not only just any Republican, Donald Trump, for crying out loud, the Hitler, the modern day Hitler. I am so happy, guys. You guys don't even realize how freaking happy I am. I know Trump used to be a Democrat back when Democrats were actually normal, good, regular people. The Democrats of the 90s are not what we have today. Okay? Bill Clinton would be a raging Republican today. Okay? So, but you know what? Trump, he made a good point because he said that a classical liberal will no longer fit in the left or in the Democrat side anymore. A classical liberal will no longer be welcomed in the Democrat Party anymore. Why? Because they've gone so far left. A classical liberal is today's modern day Republican. Isn't that horrible? Isn't that horrible that the goalpost has moved so badly? Looks like people are starting to wake up. But it's about darn time, don't you think? Don't you think? Why did it take 4 years? Why did it take 4 years of a financial depression, of world wars, of America being run for filth worldwide? Why did it take 4 years of that for people to wake up? I just don't understand. I don't understand why we're so slow. You know what I mean? Why are we so slow to progress sometimes? Fionn says, in spite of legacy media hysteria, Trump is not even right wing. He's moderate left. But that's the reason why he chose to be in the Republican side, because he knows that he would never fit on that side. He knows. Retard piece. You going to hell. You need to. That's offensive. Don't say things like that. I wasn't laughing. I was coughing. I was coughing. I wasn't laughing. I have allergy. Aunt says, yes, because the Overton window has moved so far left that JFK would be called Gitler today. The funny thing is that Hitler today would be a leftist. Isn't that crazy? Think about it. Hitler was all for the same ideology that the modern day left is for. So while they're busy pointing the finger at the right, saying Hitler, 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 Hitler's policies and his ideology and his moral code would have fit right on in with the left. So I mean, other than the whole diversity part, I mean, but their tactics, the things that they do, their what is it called? Their terminology. There it is. The terminologies that they use, all the war tactic terminologies that they use, like allies. Who calls? They say, "Oh, this is an ally of the LGBT. This is an ally of Black people." We're not in flipping war, or are we? Is it that they understand that we're in war, but we don't understand it? Because how does the saying go? Those who fail to recognize that they are in a war are bound to lose. So let's not fail to recognize that we're actually in a war. We probably are in a war. That's probably why they're using wartime tactics and wartime terminologies. Sorry guys, I'm just loving my my scarf today. So let me be brown today. I know I don't really act that brown around you guys, but if you guys saw me in normal life, I'm very, very brown. I'm very brown. Okay, I know. I know. I'm an ally. Amira's pride. I don't do that ally stuff. Okay, look, we're comrades. Comrade. Okay. Yeah, thank you. No, Manuka. Manuka. See, you know my terminology. You know what I was gonna say. All right, guys. Are you guys ready to begin? Let's begin, shall we? Uh oh, wait. I'm just reading you guys' thing. Trump pulled a pincer move on Kamala and outflanked her left side with Kennedy. Oh, I didn't see what you're saying. I'm surprised that Rachel is voting for the orange man. She's only voting for him because she believes that he is going to change the financial atmosphere, ambiance. You know, they like words like that. She thinks that he's going to change the financial atmosphere of the United States, and she wants to get money back. She just wants her money. She's not really, yeah, yeah. And she also doesn't like the illegals. She doesn't like illegals unless they're cleaning her house. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry if that is absolutely disgusting for you guys to listen to. Me sniffing. I'm sorry. My nose is wet. I'm like a little rabbit right now. You know how animals have to have wet noses, and if their noses aren't wet, that means that they're sick. That's probably how I am. Okay. All right, let's begin. All right, here we go. On the news, I'm going to bring this up for you guys. I have it already set up. I'm just going to pull it up for you guys. I have a whole list of things because Larry graciously has made us a list this week. I know he's not he's not as reliable as he used to be, but he did make us a list this week, and I want us to get to it because I want to open the panel today, if you guys don't mind. I want us to have a panel today, which we haven't had in a long time, but I want to get through the news so we can open our panels. Okay, Larry, why is the font so teeny? You know I don't have my lenses in. You know I don't. Larry, I cannot see. Can I? Okay. I think I can zoom it. Yeah. Okay, I can zoom. Okay, that's fine. I'll just zoom it because Larry forgot to put the text large so I can see. But here we go. We have quite the list. Here we go. I don't even know where to begin. Let's begin in politics, shall we? Let's talk about the Muslims real quick. The Muslim Women for Harris has disbanded and abandoned Kamala. If you guys don't know, Muslim women have disbanded and abandoned Kamala. Earlier this week, the pro-Kamala group Muslim Women for Harris announced their disbandment and removal of their support for Heels Up Harris in response to their refusal to allow a Palestinian American to speak on stage. Because Kamala and her administration did not let a Palestinian American speak. The Muslims for Harris have decided to abandon her. Do you guys realize how finicky this group of people are? And I don't mean Muslims per se. I mean the leftists, the whole Democrat side. They don't get their way for one small thing just because they didn't let a Palestinian person speak. And they're like, I'm taking my ball and going home. Mom. Like, this is how finicky, and this is why I say this is why you should never base yourself like Kamala. She's basing herself on being liked by everybody. Trump doesn't give a darn if he's liked by everybody. He wants to be respected. Kamala Harris, her whole aim to get elected is to be liked. That's why she's bringing in rappers and strippers and ex-strippers and wives of NBA players, and this is why she's doing all these celebrity things, because she wants to appear liked. When you try so hard to be liked, the moment that you do not do what the people are wanting you to do, they will abandon you because they don't give a darn about your policies. They don't give a darn about what you stand for. They want you to do the thing that makes them like you. And if you stop doing that, they are no longer going to stand with you. But nonetheless, back to the article, this action happened during the sit-in by uncommitted pro-Palestinian protesters at the DNC event. So as you guys know, the DNC was last week, and it was it was an absolute disaster. If you guys did not see, okay, the DNC was an absolute disaster, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But nonetheless, there was a sit-in that happened by pro-Palestinian people at the DNC event, and the Harris campaign did, however, invite the family of an Israeli hostage on stage to speak last Wednesday, which added fuel to the Muslim Women for Harris's dislike of what happened with Harris. So when you're trying to be liked so badly, this is what happens. Now, moving on to Kamala Harris's vice president pick, Tim Walz. The Tim Walz administration has granted $100,000 to a left-wing defund the police group. Now, wait. To you guys, this might not sound that funny, but the reason this is funny is because if you guys remember, back during the summer of love, right? Tim Walz claimed to be the man who sent in the National Guard to quail or to stop all the fires and all that in Minnesota. He is the one who says that he was the one who was the law and order guy. He was the one who brought the law and order and blah, blah, blah. But now you're giving $100,000 to a group that says defund the police? What did they get? $100,000 to a group that says defund the police, but you're the one who says that you're the law and order guy. Get out of here. See, these people, like I told you, flip-floppy, finicky. They don't know where they stand. They just do whatever they think people will like at that moment. That's the only thing that they're doing. And God forbid that they actually cheat so badly this year. And all right, nonetheless, documents have been dug up by a news outlet revealing that last year, back in 2023, Vice President hopeful Tim Walz, his Labor and Industry Department awarded $100,000 in a contract to Centro de Trabajadores Unidos en la Lucha. Now, the only reason I know how to say that is because I speak Spanish, but it translates to being the Workers' Center United in the Fight. That's what that sentence meant. So he awarded a $100,000 contract to the Centro de Trabajadores, a left-wing group that seeks to build a movement to win racial. Here we go. Oh my God. Get your list out, guys. Get your list. This is a group that seeks to win racial, gender, and economic justice. The group has a long and documented history of anti-police activism, including the 2020 peaceful protests, fiery but peaceful protests, where the group was a hub of the protests. They were like the center, okay? So the state of Minnesota has given the group $43,000 out of the $100,000 that they were contracted to receive thus far. So, and this is the person that they're trying to make the vice president. All right, I'm moving on. I want to go to the border really quickly, even though every time we talk about this, I'm sorry, guys, I get really mad. I get really triggered. I hope you guys are going to be okay. Bear with me. Bear with me. Oh, I had your comment up this whole time. Sorry, guys. Exactly. The summer of love, because we're all so in love. So exactly 3G. Do you guys remember where the reporter said, oh, it's fiery but peaceful protests? Fiery but peaceful? How the F is that even in a sentence together? Fiery and peaceful. The hell? Anyway. Hi, Celine. She says, it makes me sick how a lot of Democrat voters have more money than conservatives. Well, supposedly they're the educated party. They're the ones who are educated. We Republicans, we don't even know how to read. Remember, guys, we are. Where's my sister? Come on, sister, come on here and juke and jive. That's us, guys. Remember. Listen, I told you guys, the American hillbilly with the where's my sister? That's the same thing as the Arab. Cousin, come here, Habibi. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop. Cousin, come here, Habibi. I'm bad. Okay. I'm going to hell. All right, I'll stop. I'm just saying. We have a lot more in common than you think. It's just different tunes, different. Anyway, back to the articles. Whew. Back to the border. Border officials have confiscated ammo from a tour bus headed into Mexico. 92,000 large caliber ammo rounds were discovered by the El Paso Border Patrol, which the El Paso Border Patrol has been in the news quite often recently. I don't know why, but El Paso is having a lot going on right there in that specific area of the border. There's a lot going on right now. But anyway, 92,000 large caliber ammo rounds were discovered by the El Paso Border Patrol, who then informed reporters that the amount discovered was almost triple the amount previously found by them over the last 3 years. Almost triple the amount. The bus drivers, both Mexican nationals, found them. They were found by them. Oh, sorry, I'm lost. Sorry. The bus drivers were both Mexican nationals. They were nervous and displaying odd behavior when the bus was chosen for inspection, and they were ultimately detained and turned over to the Department of Homeland Security, of course. They were turned over for possible smuggling charges because of their nervousness. In addition, one of the 16 passengers was found to be in America illegally and was processed for illegal entry. And that's only one. But the remaining 15 passengers were sent back to Mexico on another bus. So what that tells me is, okay, so there was only one illegal. They were on their way to Mexico. They were on their way to Mexico with 92,000 caliber ammo rounds, large caliber ammo rounds. Is America supplying the cartel with guns? You would think it would be the opposite way, wouldn't it? So I don't know. I don't know. That's a very strange article, but make of that what you will. Okay, let's move on to abortions. I think this is a great time to talk about abortions, isn't it? Planned Parenthood, Planned Parenthood's free abortion offering at the DNC convention may land them in trouble with the IRS. So during the DNC's congregation, Planned Parenthood joined the party, and they were out there saying, you get an abortion, you get an abortion, you can get an abortion too. Oh, you have twins? Even better. Double the abortions. Everybody gets an abortion for free. And the IRS was in the corner like, oh yeah? For free? You better charge them bitches. Charge them. Charge them. We need to get our monies. Because you guys know the IRS is just the mafia. The IRS is just the mafia, illegal mafia. Planned Parenthood deployed a mobile van outside of the DNC convention for free abortions. They did. It was a mobile van. So check this out. A creepy white van sitting in the parking lot outside of a Democrat National Convention. A creepy white van, and a man or woman or both coming out of that van and saying, hey, shh, shh, hey, come here, girl, come here. No, not you, boy, over there. Girl, come here. You want some candy? You want some candy? I know you want some candy. Come get in the van with me. I'll offer you free abortions. And women are opening their legs in this white van to get an abortion. I'm joking. I'm pretty sure they weren't doing the abortions right there on site. But then again, nothing surprises me anymore. They probably were doing the abortions right there on site in that van. Who knows? But anyway, in response to them having this van talking about free abortions, a pro-life group called 40 Days for Life reported them to the IRS with claims that the Planned Parenthood's actions were a violation of their nonprofit status. CEO Sean Carney told news reporters that targeting political parties and candidates with free abortions and other in-kind gifts is strictly prohibited by the IRS, a basic rule that every nonprofit understands. So you're not allowed to offer free abortions. You can only offer free condoms. But contraception is boring. I mean, it's better to just be able to kill. I mean, killing is way more fun, isn't it? Isn't it? Okay. Many have said Planned Parenthood is evil. You think? You think? I mean, I couldn't work in a place where all I saw was dead fetuses all day, no. I couldn't work in that place. No. No. You haul them out. Fix. I thought the van was supposed to read free candy. It probably did. Probably did. You know what it probably read? Never mind. I can't say it. I'm saying it anyway because Samael is not here. You know what it probably said? It probably said something like, free flavored condoms. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm bad. I'm going to hell. I know. Don't tell on me. But anyway, that's what he probably said. The freaks out there are probably like, ooh, flavored condoms. Let's go. Which is the same thing as candy for them, isn't it? Isn't it? Candy, flavored condoms, same thing, same difference. It's all going in the same place. Okay, anyway, never mind. I just let's focus on Let's focus on the. All right, here we go. Article. Right. Dealing with the illegal alien situation, the cockroach infestation that we have going on in America. Do you guys remember I told you this is an infestation? I think it was Zelich who actually gave us that word, but thank you, Zelich, or Suka Mainuka. But we have a cockroach infestation in this beautiful nation. And that infestation is of illegal aliens. How else would I describe a pest that you get rid of but keeps coming back? How else would I describe it? It's a pest. It's like a cockroach. I know I'm not supposed to call humans cockroaches, but if you act like a cockroach, you are a cockroach. That's it. So anyway, back to the cockroaches. Hacienda Community Development Corporation, a pro-Latino group, has drawn the ire of Oregon citizens for a home buyer program that they launched to give $30,000 to the illegal cockroaches. You know what? I think I should just go. This is the key to my Range Rover. I bought the key because just in case I need to run, just in case, I have it right here. I can just take it and go. I can take it and go. $30,000. $30,000 because these motherfuckers, these okay. So wait, help me understand. Okay. All right. Maybe I'm just too stupid to understand. Maybe I'm just dumb. I think I'm just a little bit slow. You know what I mean? I think that's the reason why I can't comprehend why people are getting rewarded. You get rewarded for breaking the effing laws. You get $30,000 given to you for a home buyer program when the average American can't even afford to rent. They can't even afford to rent. And yet you're giving $30,000 to these illegal cockroaches so that they can have homes? Are you? I need some. Oh, man. Oh, estos hijos de la gran puta. Estos hijos de la gran puta. Ya se pasaron. Con la gran puta. No puedo creer que eso no puede ser. Eso no puede ser. I cannot believe. I can't fucking. I can't believe. I can't. Whoa. All right. All right. All right. Here we go. I'm back. All right. So, the Hacienda Community Development Corporation. Let's all take that down. Take down the name, eh? Hacienda Community. The Hacienda Community Development Corporation, a pro-Latino. This has nothing to do with Latinos. This has to do with illegal cockroaches. A pro-Latino group has drawn the ire of Oregon citizens for a home buyer program that they launched to give $30,000 to illegal aliens. The taxpayer-funded program. Oh, it's taxpayer funded. Why did I not think of that? I should have known. How could this get any better? How could it get any better? I mean, I should have seen that coming. Why didn't I see that coming? See, I told you guys I'm slow. I told you I'm slow. Why wouldn't it be taxpayer funded? Why wouldn't it be? I mean, that's why our taxes are so high. Oh, so that's the reason why I didn't know. Alrighty then. You know, sometimes I think a burqa might not be that bad because I think I need something to cover up the ire that I'm going through right now. All right, here we go. I got it. Here we go. Back to the. So the taxpayer-funded program only provides financial home buyer support for refugees, asylum seekers, green card holders. Well, at least it's a green card. I mean, at least have a flippin' green card. And those who arrived in the United States illegally as children. All right. I understand what's going on here. I understand what's going on here. We're supposed to feel bad for those who were brought here by their parents because it's not their fault. So we should help them because it's not their fault, right? Right? Yeah. So this is the reason I understand now the loophole that they're getting over. Oregon State Representative Ed Dahy told reporters that he is appalled at the scheme, which is being funded through the state's Economic Equity Investment Program. Economic Equity Investment Program. Through the program, the funds are distributed to groups that provide culturally responsive services. Back in 2023, half of Oregon voters said that illegal immigration is a serious problem, yet they still voted to maintain Oregon's sanctuary city status, with nearly 60% of them saying immigration is a positive for the country. You're getting what you deserve. You're getting what you deserve. I was feeling bad for a second, but now I feel a lot better. You guys voted this in at a number of 60%. 60%. 60% is a majority. So if that's the case, I mean, I'm not that great at math. Forgive me, everyone. Math is not my strong suit, but I believe I understand that 60% is the majority. So you guys believe at a vote of 60% that immigration is positive for the country? Well, then you're getting what you deserve. I felt bad for a second, but now I see that this is something that, you effed around and now you're finding out. So I feel better now. There has been, oh my gosh. Okay. There has been, before we move on to LGBTQIA plus pedos plus everything sick, just let me give you guys one more thing. Remember, we stopped talking about the vaccines for a while because the vaccines are kind of a old topic now, even though the effects of the vaccines are still continuing to rear their faces in the people who are vaccinated. But another side effect of the vaccination has become evident. Beware for the people who are still purebloods like myself, that you not taking the jab will put you at risk for mental illness. A recent study reportedly revealed that people who refused to take the jab experienced an elevated increase of mental illness for up to a year following the severe COVID-19. Researchers involved with the study told reporters that they collected data from 2022 to 2024 and covered the medical status of several people of a variety of ages. Investigators reported that the study is limited to digital health records only, which may not be accurate concerning incidences of diseases, and in fact are skewed in favor of people with more healthcare needs, like those hospitalized with the illness of COVID-19. This favoring potentially led to an overestimation of mental health impacts. So basically, they're saying that people who do not take the jab are the ones who are mentally ill, that we have an elevated incidence of mental illness. Well, I'll take that. I'll take it. I will take my happy pills and move on with my day. Still a pure blood, though. I'll be sad and depressed, but still a pure blood. So you're not going to guilt trip me into taking that, because I have seen way too many instances of children having heart attacks and strokes on the playground. On the playground, because their parents vaccinated them at the tender age of 3 months old, or what was it, 3 years old? What is it? The kids are barely even walking, but they vaccinated them. So no, no, no. I will continue. I will continue to be as I am, and that's that. If I suffer depression or mental illness, give me my happy pills and send me on my way. Next, LGBTQIA plus pedos and everything sick news. Oh, wait. Okay. 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 All right. All right. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. LGBT plus LGBTQIA plus pedos plus everything sick. Hold on, wait. I'm reading what you guys say. Yakub says, better to have a mental illness than having a heart attack. Thank you. Thank you. I'm like, I'll take my mental illness any day. Give me my happy pills and I'll be just fine. I know. There's too many children on the playground having heart attacks and strokes for no apparent reason. Children who are thin, no medical issues, but they've been jabbed. Have you seen the uptick in sports players, professional sports players, Olympians, Olympian level people who are athletes having heart attacks? Do you guys know what I'm saying? They're just having heart attacks now. And that is because they were forced to take the jab back in 2020. They were forced, because if they did not take the jab, they would not be able to travel with the Olympics. They would not be able to go. They weren't be able to participate in many events and continue their career as an athlete. So they were forced more than anybody. They were forced to take the jab. And now we see is not being reported on the news, but we have seen an uptick, a huge uptick, in fact, of athletes who are having heart problems, heart attacks in the middle of training, or in the middle of a game, falling down on a heart attack, because we all know what the issue is, but we're not supposed to talk about it. And then you have children whose parents vaccinated them because they were like, oh, I want to protect my child from COVID, when children were the least affected by this virus, which is just another flu. But children were the least affected by COVID, but you had parents who vaccinated their children. So now the children are suffering those same side effects, heart issues, breathing issues, what's it called, palpitations, for no reason. No. It's too much. Yeah, seriously, Aaron. Exactly. I expect them to treat my mental illness with the same affirmative care that everyone else gets, right? But you got to remember, Aaron, you being confused about your gender is not a mental illness. That's just another way of living. Remember, there's no mental illness in that. There's nothing wrong with a person being confused about what they are or who's gender dysphoric. There's nothing wrong with that. How can you call that a mental illness? It's just like someone who doesn't want their arm. Have you guys seen people who do this? There was a woman. Before we move on to LGBTQIA plus pedos plus everything sick, I want to share this with you. There was a woman who was dysphoric about her own body. She hated the fact that she was not a blind person. She wanted to be a blind woman so very bad. So what she did was she got the help of her friend, and they poured draining cleaner. Drain cleaner? The stuff that you pour down the drains and it melts all the stuff that's in the drain so that your drains can be clean. They poured drain cleaner into both of her eyes so that she would be blind permanently for life. And of course, that's exactly what it did, because obviously if it melts the stuff in the drain, it's going to melt what's in your eye socket. So the woman was left permanently blind, and now she's on disability. The state actually gave her disability when it was a self-inflicted disability. Now, this is what I call mental illness, because a person who's mentally sound would never damage themselves permanently on purpose, because there's this little thing called self-preservation that a normal, healthy human has. The same thing with people trying to cut off their weenie. So the same thing, like the woman pouring draining liquid or draining cleaner in her eyes to get rid of her perfectly healthy eyes. Perfectly healthy. I'm blind and I don't want to get rid of my eyes. But she had perfectly healthy vision. She did that because she had this dysphoria. It's the same thing with these people who cut off their weenie. You have a perfectly functioning, perfectly working weenie, and you cut it off because you want a donut hole. You're mentally ill. Something's wrong with you. Okay? There's no need to have a discussion about this. There's no need for a council or meeting. It's mental illness, and that's it. So, moving on to LGBTQIA plus pedos plus everything sick. Let's leave the weenies alone. Leave the weenies alone. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I don't know why that made me laugh so bad. Did they blame Trump? I have no idea, but you know what? She's of the ilk. I'm sure she's of the ilk. No. Yeah, I heard about that too, but let's move on really quickly. LGBTQIA plus pedos plus everything sick advocates say that the Mormon Church's new transgender rules, quote unquote, marginalize transsexual members. Watch. The Church of Latter-day Saints' new transsexual member rules expand on the current standing rule that prevents transsexual members from being baptized. You want to know why? Because when I'm not stopping because Samuel's not back here, so I get to do whatever I want to do. Now, watch. Nope, don't stop me, Larry or Samuel. None of you can stop me now, because Samuel's not back there. So you want to know why they don't baptize transsexuals? You want to know why? I tell you why. Because the baptism pool that people get baptized in is supposed to be pure, holy water. And you're supposed to be dipped in that water to be baptized. Now, if you take a person who is a transsexual or who is a perverted person, and I'm not saying that every transsexual is a perverted person, but I'm saying that it's more prevalent in that group to find perverted people. So Why would we ever take the risk of having that? I don't understand why. I just don't. I really don't. Yes, there are perverted heterosexual people, but I tell you what, butt play is extremely more dirty than a person who likes to look at a Playboy magazine every once in a while. Butt play, booty banditry. Banditry is my new word. Booty banditry. Samael's not here, so I'm having a blast. Samael, I'm sorry. When you see this, you're going to love me, or he's probably going to call me and rant. But whatever. Booty banditry is extremely more dirty and more bacteria filled than people who like to look at Playboy magazines. So I believe that this is the reason why they don't want to put the transsexuals or the people who are gender confused, because it just so happens that a lot of them tend to be gay, and it just somebody came to me and said, not every transsexual is gay. But can we at least admit that the majority are? The majority are, okay? So let's not act like the only one that I've seen that isn't is Riley Dennis. What's his name? Riley Dennis. He wears his hair long and he wears eyeliner on his eyes and he says that he's a transsexual, but he has a girlfriend. So I'm like, you are just a guy who's feminine who likes women. You're not a transsexual. But anyway. All right. Anyway, I know this is the long story, but here we go. The long-standing rule that prevented transsexual members from being baptized in the Church of Latter-day Saints still stands, and now they expanded on it. The new policy states that those who transition in any way, when they say transition in any way, they mean any way. They mean if you transition socially, surgically, or in any other medical or non-medical way, you cannot stay overnight at youth camps. You cannot be coming with anybody else of younger ages. You cannot hang out in the women's ministry, and you cannot, you can only use single occupancy bathrooms by yourself on church property. You will be ostracized from most of the groups when we have to protect women and children. And that means having your own little shed to use the bathroom out in the back, because we don't want you touching our stuff there either. We don't even want to share the same toilet paper roll with you. And may the church say, amen. 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 You guys, if you guys know where that song is from, you guys know why. Okay. Anyway, the alphabet advocates say that these new rules will further drive away and ostracize the church's alphabet members. Good. I think that's the purpose of the rule. I think that's exactly what they were trying to get done. I think that was the purpose of the rule being changed in the first place. They said, oh, look, the LGBT advocates are like, no, but these new rules will drive away the faggots in your church. No crap. I had no idea that was going to happen. Would you know? The faggots don't want to participate anymore because they can't be around children and all the single women and sharing bathrooms with the rest of us. Who would have thought that would be the breaking factor that would make them not want to join our church anymore because they can't be with our children alone, nor can they be with our single women? Well, I diddly don't tell you, I'm surprised. I can't believe they don't want to come to our church. Here, the Church of the Latter-day Saints, we support everybody. alphabet advocates say that these new rules will further drive away the church's alphabet members who reportedly feel like outsiders. I love you guys. I love you guys so very much. I love you guys. I really do. And I don't say that often. I really don't say that often, but I'm just so happy that you guys are here with me today. I'm having a great time. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Exiled Lioness number 2. Exiled Lioness number 3 opening up pretty darn soon here. I am so happy that you are here with me tonight. I hope you all are enjoying your Saturday nights with me as I am enjoying my Saturday night with you. Welcome, everybody. And we are having the greatest time because Samael is not here to tell me what to do. So I get to have fun tonight. I'm having fun. And my husband is not here right now, so he can't hear nothing neither. I get to be bad. So anyway, that's why we're having such a good time tonight. Ugh. When the cat's away, the mice will play. Anyway, all right. I am going to open up the panel. I want to invite anybody who wants to come on to join me tonight because tonight we are having a blast and I want to share it all with you. I want you all to join me in the fun. The link is in the chat, mods. Please remember to repost the link when you remember to do so. I appreciate it very, very much because I will surely enough forget to do it. So thank you all. And flaggetry is fligatry. It's flaggetry or flaggetry. I get it. I get it. I understand, Fix. Thank you, Fix, for making sure you have the acronyms and the synonyms and the thesaurus list on point. Thank you so much, Fix, for having the thesaurus list. Thank you. All right, so here we go. I know when Sammy's away. Can you stop? Where is he anyway? Because I saw him show up, but I think his internet is acting up again because remember, guys, yesterday, if you were on Samael's show yesterday, his internet was so bad, so very bad. Baptism is a declaration of being a follower of Christ. While it's understood that you are not sinless, but are making genuine effort to change, however, as an active trans, it would be kind of disingenuous. Well, they believe that God made no mistakes, right? They say God made no mistakes and God made me what I am. If I'm a flagget, it's because God made me so. If I'm gender confused, it's because God made me so. And I say, no. God made no mistakes when he made you. You having the idea in your head that you are the sex that you are not is your demon that's been following you around. That's not God's mistake. God made no mistakes when he made you. And if he made you a man, it's because you were destined to be a man. If he made you a woman, it's because you were destined to be a woman. And that's that. Hey, Savage.
What's going on, Amira?
Welcome in. Welcome in. What do you have to add? What do you think about the flaggots not being accepted in the Latter-day Saints, the Church of Latter-day Saints? What do you think about that?
Well, I actually wanted to bring up a different topic, if that's okay.
Go on.
Well, the one thing that had bothered me more recently was yesterday or the day before yesterday. I was witnessing how many people in Sudan are starving to death. And so I was unaware that the number of people in Sudan that were starving is like equal to what's going on in Palestine and Gaza. And so what came up was how the death ratio in Sudan is higher than, but nobody declared a national emergency. Almost like they're like a forgotten people. And so I know it's a little off topic, and I know that you were excited, and I didn't mean to drag things down, but I thought it was important that how crazy it is. That's just one of the things I just wanted to make sure we highlighted if I even had a chance for others, that how like Egypt's in the middle, and I wanted to highlight here how Egypt was placing, like, they were placing guards and soldiers at the border of Gaza to prevent like women and children from coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And they also placed guards last year at the southern border to prevent the Sudanese from coming in. And then I look at the Egyptian president, and he looks like, I mean, he looked like a giant blueberry. Like he looks like he eats unlimited. And then it had been like the people north of him and south of him are starving to death. And then he places troops at the borders to prevent them from coming in. I
Okay,
just
hold on 1 second. 1 second, let me respond. Guys, the whole Sudan thing, the only reason, hold on, I'm going to mute your mic because I'm getting feedback, okay? But I'm going to unmute you when I finish. The the only reason why the Palestinians matter more than the Sudanese and everyone else is because it's the Jews, it's the Israelis that are killing them. This is the reason why. But this is something that will never end. But yeah, you're right. We're paying so much attention to these Palestinians. But yeah, go ahead.
that was all. That was just one of these topics that bothered me a little bit, that they were showing like the people and the children, like the type of aids they were getting, and how it's just a lack of supply. And so in my head, I was just thinking like, it's
Sounds like
another
a
one that,
bullshit.
yeah, it can be fixed. It's an easy fix. It's just getting them supply, or ensuring they have supply. And so maybe this wasn't the greatest realm to relay it, but if anyone wanted to look into it, I just thought it was messed up that I thought we solved starvation. I thought this was one we could have solved, like, already, being in 2024, but maybe not.
Listen, we are not the saviors of the world. We are not the world police. I know technically we are because we've taken on that role, but we are not. These are not our children. The Sudanese people that's not our children. That's not our babies. We have our own babies in America who are struggling, who are hungry. We have our own veterans in America who need the help. I hear your story about the Sudanese, but I could care less at this moment about the Sudanese or about anybody else. The Ethiopian, the everybody else. I'm sorry. These people have to come after. They have to come after here because right here, the people who are making the money that's being sent to all these nations are not being taken care of. How about we take care of the people who are actually the ones making it happen? And the veterans here who have served this nation, who have come back without limbs, without their sanity, or without other things. Why are we not taking care of them first? I would cry for the Sudanese, but I cry for the veteran first. So for me, I hear what you're saying, and I understand your point that why are they caring so much about the Palestinian when the Sudanese are actually dying in more numbers than the Palestinians? You already know the reason. You already know the reason why that is. It's because it's all political.
I agree with you. I don't know if you knew, Amira, but I'm a veteran. So it's one of those things where I already know about the veteran situation. 11 Bravo, I served in the infantry here in the United States. And then there's a difference between, also, I thought that this was a Muslim channel. I'm also Muslim. So it's one of these things where I agree about, America should care about Americans. I care about our veterans. I care about America. I'm all up to date about the DNC and the RNC and where I'm at with Trump, one up, okay, and different than Kamala or Joe Biden, or one down. I've been tracking that for a while, as much as I think you'll make a great senator, no lie, or representatives, no lie. Like, I think you should serve with how much you've been, affiliated with our politics. This was one of those things where it just affected me more, like, as a Muslim. That in my head, I was like, when Muslims were crying out for help, like, who's going to help them? And if it wasn't other Muslims in better positions, like around the world, that have better positions, I don't see the Sudanese helping themselves. I don't see the Gazans helping themselves. And so, even though it may not be, so I think that's a Muslim priority. Even though we should focus as Americans local first, I just felt like, some of their plight of situation. That's why it reached out to me. Like, as a soldier and someone here as American Muslim, I definitely care about America and where we're going, but I also care about the Holy Land. And this is one of those things where I've been like, see, Sudan is just south of Egypt, almost like Egypt drew a line and said, "Oh, you're just black Egyptians, so you're worth less." And I thought
Let me
that,
respond.
yeah,
Let me
mess.
respond to you. I'm sorry. My response. Oh, hold on. Wait. I had you muted. Go ahead. Say it again.
I was saying I'm half Egyptian, by the way, so that's the only reason why this one was like more personal to this. dysfunction. But no, go ahead.
The Masar. The Masar.
Yeah, and I'm
Good. Hello. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. All right, let me respond to you. Okay. Now you're closer to me than a lot of people are because you're Muslim, Arab, and a veteran. That's a lot closer. But you being Muslim, being a person who's caring about Muslims, I want to give you a point of view, my point of view. There are Muslim nations that are rich around the world: Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, the UAE. These are the richest nations that are Muslims, and that is their responsibility to take care of the Muslim world. Okay, America is not a Muslim nation, unfortunately, but it's just the case is not. I don't think that it's America's job to have to break their back to take care of Sudan. I believe that Muslims need to take care of Muslims and the Christians need to take care of Christians. That's what I think. If this is something that, here, I'll tell you this: America can take care of the Muslim world after America is settled. Once American veterans are taken care of, the American homeless situation is taken care of, the American border is strong, then maybe we can start focusing on things more abroad. But for right now, we need to focus on what we have here. What do you think?
I agree with you. I just wanted to be the voice that calls them out from here. That's all. I agree with you that was it necessarily my duty, like as America duty? No. But as a Muslim American would have been like if I didn't call out these other rich nations that just oversight it and allow it to keep happening. My understanding is a Muslim dies in the Holy Land every 30 minutes all day. That's the average. And then we've been like, we have more people starving in Sudan every day. So just one of those things where I agree with you. Like, is it America's duty to fix it? No. But as an American Muslim, I feel like it's my duty to call it out for how it's not being fixed, because I don't think that they have the media relay or the ability to necessarily make this almost like if America doesn't bring it up as an issue, then it appears like the rest don't seem to see it.
Well, I
Like,
mean, what do you think about the Buddhists that are dying every day in Cambodia? There's places in Cambodia or Laos that people are starving, and is it America's job to go care for all the Buddhists? It's not America's job, That's the job of the Buddhist nations to take care of. China should be taking care of the Buddhist people.
I know what you're saying, but see, the way I'm viewing this was if America doesn't make it a problem, because I feel like a lot of the media is controlled or even influenced by our perspective. Kind of like
Hmm.
if we're focused on Venezuela, then maybe the world's on Venezuela. If we're focused on Ukraine and Russia, then kind of like the world's on
Hmm.
Ukraine and Russia. We're
Hmm.
focused in Syria, everyone's on Syria. We focus in Gaza, they're all on Gaza. So I do agree with you. Does it necessarily mean it's our duty to fix it? No, that's not necessarily what I was saying. I just know that if we don't verbalize it or media relay it, then sometimes that's the reason why these things go unfixed.
Hmm.
Does that make sense? Like if we don't draw attention to and I don't. That's why for me it was like it popped up in my feed between like I saw Vivek got a death threat because of what
Hmm.
CNN had relayed about him. That was kind of like
Uh-huh.
pretty big news. And then I watched, RFK stepping down so that Donald J. Trump looks like he's going to be winning some of these swing states. So instead of voting for RFK, they'll be voting for Trump. But that's all an internal issue. Like who's going to be president here is going to be either Kamala or Trump. We both know it's going to be Trump. But
Well, I mean, my response to you, hold on one second. My response to you is, if America, anything that America focuses on, then the world focuses on, then I think that gives more credence to the fact that what I say, that America needs to focus on herself before everyone else right now. Because, like I told you, we are the ones living in America. You live in America, right? Nod your head yes or no. Okay. You live in America, I live in America. This is our nation now. Okay, we may be Muslims, but we are Americans first at this point because we are here. I mean, yeah, we're Muslims first, like religiously, of course, but I'm saying American as in nationality. Nationality wise, I'm not Lebanese anymore. I'm American. I'm a Muslim American, not a Muslim Lebanese anymore. So for me, I feel more like, if America, whatever America focuses on, then that's what the world will focus on. Then America needs to focus on herself. America needs to call attention to her issues and fix them here. And this is why I prefer Trump. And the reason is because he is the one who's saying we need to stop looking at the rest of the world and trying to fix the rest of the world when we have stuff happening right outside our doors right now. We step over the homeless outside and step over the problems outside to go donate to places that are far beyond our reach when we could be doing that for ourselves. Why not do that for ourselves first? And so for me, I hear you. I hear you and I understand what you're saying. You want to call it out and call attention to it. But I'm pretty sure that everybody knows that there's people in Sudan that are not doing well because Sudan has never been known to be a nation of riches. Okay? Anybody who says, "Oh, Sudan," everybody knows they're probably hungry. Most likely they're hungry. So, I mean, that's why I say countries like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, the rich Muslim nations need to take care of those people, but they don't. So, if you really want to call out Muslim issues, call that out. Call out the reasons why Saudi Arabia doesn't defend Palestine. If we are supposed to be Americans defending Palestine, why doesn't Saudi Arabia defend them as brethren, as Muslims? You're supposed to be there for your Muslim brother, but you're not defending them. UAE hasn't stepped out for them, but America is supposed to go to bat for Palestine? Does that make sense to you? It doesn't to me. You're unmuted.
It does make sense to me. So when we said American or Muslim first, right? I'd been like, well, to me, America was
No, I
founded.
said that wrong. I said it
know,
wrong.
I know it.
Yeah, I meant
Muslim
nationality.
American, but
Yeah.
I was saying like America is founded on one nation under one God. So I felt like the foundation and the creation of this nation is based off of a God function of ideology. What? So our focus of approach in the Middle East, Israel, Palestine, makes sense to me that this nation was founded on God. So I mean, that to be a focus makes sense. That almost been like, I want Trump to fix the Middle East with the Abraham Accords. I want him to actually fix it. I want him to fix at home. I want majority of us to fix at home first, but home was founded off of a belief in God. And so
Yeah, that's why I love America. That's the reason why I love America.
Me too.
Because
Me
of
too.
yeah.
me too at 100. But that's where I agree with you. Like Sudan was like a poor country that everybody oversights. And to me, it was more like, is that an American problem? No, I just knew that if America places a little focus, then maybe they'll get food. I saw like the kids there can't even stand up how bad it was. I was just hoping that it's like, it's not a difficult fix. This was an easy fix. All that had to be blasted was like, they need food. Just give them food. And
there's so many nations closer to Sudan that can help them than America. I think we need to focus on the people.
I
in
think
our
Egypt should fix them, not America. It was one of these things where I think Egypt should, just as much as that's why I was calling Egypt out. That'd have been like, it's kind of like a fat nation, at least of a leader, where I've been like, they're starving to the north and the south. And so I've been like, this would have been more of an Egypt problem. And I agree with you that if Egypt couldn't fund it, then that's the call to Saudi or Emirates or who's got the money in terms of just what's the right thing to do. That's all.
I mean, that's the thing, and people expect America to just be the daddy for the rest of the world. And listen, this is the reason why I said we can't do that. Trump fixed the Middle East when he was president. He fixed so many things in the Middle East so that the Middle East can take care of itself. We don't need to be over there taking care of Middle Easterners and Arabs. First of all, me as an Arab, I believe that we need to get our stuff together. We need to fix our issues. And we cannot depend on America to fix them. But we should not be at war with America either because America is not coming to fix us. I believe that, the problem happened mostly with Obama, forcing the United States to be in the Middle East and causing tension between Arabs and Americans, of course. But that's a whole different stream. If you guys want to have a stream on that, I would love to, because I've actually never had a stream talking about my views on Obama, Bush, and a few others of what they did in the Middle East and the things that are untalked about, like how ISIS and Al Qaeda started and all of that. Those are things that I would love to talk about, but not right now. But Neil, welcome in. Do you have anything to? Hey there. What do you think about the the transsexuals not being allowed in the Church of the Latter-day Saints?
Well, I think the church is, and just in the interest of full disclosure, I am a member of that church, so I keep up with those things. The church has been pretty consistent about that kind of stuff. The church maintains that our bodies are a gift from God, that we are created in the image of God, and that God doesn't make mistakes, that our sex and our gender are assigned at birth, and you stick with that. Strongly discourages attempting to change that.
I
And if
love
you
that
do
word you
decide to
used. That
change that,
discourages.
yeah,
You know what
if
he really wanted to say.
yeah, but I mean, it's not, someone who I just after you mentioned that, I pulled it up and read the press release, and the position is, if you do decide to change that, then we're not going to throw you out of the church for that, but here are the rules. You can't do certain things. You can't be born a woman and decide that you're a man and go on campouts with the boys. Sorry, no. And vice versa. You can't be a man, be born a man and decide that you're a woman and then go on campouts with the little girls and use restrooms with the little girls. That doesn't happen. You're welcome to come and worship, but stay out of the restrooms, or stay out of the restrooms with the wrong sex.
Let me ask you this, Neil. Doesn't it say something to you that the Flaggets all of a sudden are saying that they feel bad because they're not allowed to go into the bathrooms with the girls, or they're not allowed to be in the children's ministry or the single women's ministry? Don't you think it says something about them that when they are banned from those things, that all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, I don't want to be a part of the church. I feel ostracized.
The purpose of the church is to, and this goes back to the name of your religion, Islam, submission to the will of God. Muslims are those who submit to the will of God.
Savage,
the purpose of the church is for us, to help us become like God, not to reshape God in our own image.
1 second, Neil. I'm sorry, Savage. I don't know how YouTube takes to smoking cigarettes on stream. I'm not sure. Yeah. Just go to the corner and do it, please, because I don't want to have it. Oh my gosh, you have to be Arab. You must be Arab, because this is this is only an Arab problem that I would have. Are you Arab?
I told you I'm half Egyptian. Yeah, my dad was in Kansas. I was born in Kansas. I've done a lot of these before. I haven't had any issues thus far, but I'll try to keep it down.
تكلم عربي. تكلم عربي.
نتكلم عربي شوية.
بشوية? Hello. Okay then. Okay, this is only an Arabic problem that I would have, so that's I get it. Okay, just do it to the side, Habibi. Okay, do it to the side. Okay, Neil, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. It's just
no.
Okay.
Just to reach back a little bit, a few years back, the church did the same thing with a policy on homosexuals. And at the time, I thought it was really literally inspired, because they had a big meeting for everybody, regional meetings for people to attend and learn what the explicit policy was. And basically what it boils down to is that homosexual feelings and urges are not considered sinful. They're not reason that one should leave the church or be put out of the church, but homosexual actions are. And it basically put the sexuality of homosexuals on the same basis as heterosexuals. I pointed out to some people, I said, heterosexual, quite often the complaint from hetero or homosexuals in the church was, well, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to love somebody that you're forbidden from being with. It's like, really?
Well, I want to tell you
No.
something, Neil.
Go
I want to
ahead.
tell you something really quickly. I have a PO box, right? And in my PO box, this was a long time ago. This is like last year, but in my PO box, I received this in the mail. It was a Book of Mormon, the Bible, Mormon Bible in Arabic. I was sent this. Now I don't know who the sender was, but this is something that I received. So it's the Mormon Bible in Arabic, which is beautiful.
It's
What do you
actually
guys
not a
think?
Mormon Bible.
What is
It's the Book of Mormon.
Isn't
We
that the same thing?
no the Mormon Bible per se. We use the same Bible everybody else does. And
Oh,
in that regard, we're very much like Islam. You
mm,
have other scripture in addition to the Bible, but you also regard the Bible as the Word of God. We have the Book of Mormon in
me and
addition
you.
to the Bible.
Yeah,
We believe the
yeah, me
Bible to
and
be the Word of God insofar as it is translated correctly.
you. Mm.
We also believe the Book of Mormon to be the Word of God. We also believe in the scrolls of Abraham. So that should ring true to you too. But
Wow.
so yeah, it's not a Mormon Bible. It's not a replacement for the Bible. It's an addition
Oh,
to.
all right. All right. Well,
Not
I've
not
been educated.
yeah. But going back to what I was saying about the rule on homosexuality, that okay, we understand that people sometimes everybody is different. Everybody has a different cross to bear, if you will. Everybody has different struggles in their life. So if you have homosexual urges, that's not sinful. Acting on them is. And like I say, one of the complaints from the homosexual community has always been, well, you heterosexuals, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to love somebody that you're forbidden to be with. And it's like, really? So no heterosexual man has ever fallen in love with a woman that was married to somebody else and is forbidden by
Hey,
his
hey,
own sense of right and wrong from
Neil, I will not have that blasphemy on my channel. Talking about adulterous acts over here, Mr. Neil, Mr.
so
Neil.
so anyway, it is the same, the fact that you are attracted to a woman that is forbidden to you, or for a woman to be attracted to a man that is forbidden,
That
that
never happened.
attraction is not sinful.
Never
Acting on
happened.
it is. So we're on the same basis
No,
across
I
the
get it.
board.
I get it. I get it. No, because you're right. You're right. Because just because you are attracted to men doesn't mean that you need to act on that. You need to understand what's wrong, try to figure out why you feel this way, why you are weird and perverted. Maybe it's a trauma in your past, maybe something went wrong, but it's not natural and it's not right. And it's not something that should be taken as normal or should be accepted. And definitely not promoted to children as another way of life.
Right.
I see the chat. They're like, "Oh, spicy, spicy." um, Carrie says, "I still have fantasies about my best friend." Okay, okay, I'm all right. Listen, this is not a place for you guys to confess your perverted loves and crushes. Okay, get it together, Pride. Okay, this is not the time for that. Just because Neil has his
I do
his
not.
thoughts, he has
Stop
his
saying
thoughts.
that.
But anyway, what do you guys have on the other topics? Like, what do you guys think about everything else that I spoke about? I talked to you guys about the border, about the illegals. I talked to you guys about Kamala Harris. Do you guys know that the DNC was a complete disaster? Did you guys hear that there were protests like crazy? I'm going to unmute you, Savage, because I realized I had you muted. So just in case you want to speak.
Well, one up to the Mormon crew for their position. I'm proud of them for that one, and different than
Thank
how
you.
like the Catholic Church handled it. Good job, guys. And then when
Definitely.
it came to the DNC, that's what surprised me was like all over online. If I just went to YouTube News, it was all promoting the DNC. But if I typed DNC protest, you could see what was going on right outside, and some of that stuff was pretty aggravating. It was pretty. I saw like 2 Muslim women that were surrounded by about 4 or 5, Chicago police officers, where their hands were all over them. It was like one of the most ridiculous, as much as none of that was hardly covered unless you looked up protest, DNC, women, and it was in front of the Max station there, or in front of their little like subway station. And this was taking place at the same time the DNC is going on, meaning like
wait. Stop it. So you're saying that there were police grabbing and groping Muslim women? What?
Yeah, there was a huge arrest, and then like they had it on camera. There'd be like 50 Muslim guys with the cameras up, and then like when one guy tried to step in, one of the officers had pushed him back, and then they were adamant about arresting her. And then she was trying everything to get away. This was just right in front of the Max station, like the subway stop there. And yeah, that was all over the news while the DNC is going on. It was at the same time. So
okay, so she was the one acting crazy, right? It wasn't that the police were just groping her. She was trying to get away and trying to evade, right?
It was one of those 50-50s where it didn't look like she didn't look like she had done much of anything wrong, but the police officers weren't beating her brutally. I felt like they should have had a female officer there with the way that they were handling them. It's true that it was wrong, basically. I mean, it was wrong. There was no reason to have approached her, to have arrested her, except they were saying like she was holding up the Max station, or she was holding up the train station. But there was thousands of people. There wasn't just her. And so they had picked her almost like because
don't say it.
She was the easier one to surround. And then
I was going to say, you better not say racially profiling. Don't say that, because
I didn't say that. I was only letting you know that, of course, I was irritated about having watched the DNC while watching how much protest took place outside, and that was hardly covered. RNC, they did a pretty good job. So.
Oh, well, you saw how amazing it was. The RNC was just so classy, so loving, and the firefighter who was honored, that brought tears to my eyes. Did you see it?
I didn't see that part, but I did see a lot of it. That's why I was like, there's a lot going on in the last few days here to keep up with.
Yeah. Well, the DNC, I mean, what do you think about that, Neil? Did you see what Savage is talking about?
I didn't see that particular clip. I saw some stuff. I was hearing constantly about the protests going on. There was a big push on day one, and then kind of toned down a little bit, and then ramped up again yesterday for the last day of the DNC. But the Palestinian protest, and the standard refrain, not the Palestinian protest, the people protesting on behalf of the Palestinians, the Americans, and
right.
the throwing around the word genocide. And it's like, genocide means the destruction of an entire people or group.
Mm-hmm.
If Israel wanted to wipe Gaza off the map and kill every last one of them, they would have done it already.
That's right.
They work real hard to not kill any extra Gazans. So,
and they're backed up by the West.
And so the discussion of all that dynamic is.
I think there's a delay, right? They're backed up by the powerful Western nations. So if Israel really wanted to do anything, they really could, especially with being backed up by the Western nations. That's why I say this fight is more, there's way more details than people are being fed. People really believe that, I stay out of it mostly because this is a generational war that will not end with this generation here. It's something that will not be solved this generation. So I'm not going to keep fighting over stuff for generation. Nothing's changing. I'd rather move on to things that we can actually change. That's their issue. If the Palestinians want to be protected, the Muslim nation should be the ones defending them.
Agreed. And I going back to Trump and Republicans versus Harris, Biden, Obama, and the Democrats, just some things that were running through my head while you were talking. And the refrain from the Democrats is like, well, you saw what he did when he was a president. look, imagine what he'll do if he gets 4 more years. And it's like, yeah, let's see. Trump managed to facilitate diplomatic relationships between Israel and 4 new Arab Muslim countries that it didn't have before. That would be twice as many as all previous presidents since 1948 during one administration. And the Biden administration has managed to put even those in jeopardy because the Democrats and Biden and Obama are about division because they thrive in conflict and division. That's where they can draw power. They don't want a unified America. They don't want a unified world. They don't want a unified Israel because, every place there's division, that's a place where they can get a hold and stir people up and get them to fight against each other. RFK coming out for Trump shows you just how far things have changed. You were talking about how the parties have changed. I saw this during Obama's administration. One of the things he said, Obama talked about the U.S. Constitution. He said, well, it's a great charter of negative liberties, but it doesn't go far enough. It tells what the government can't do to individuals, but it doesn't go far enough in telling what the government must do for individuals. And the first thing that popped into my mind when I heard him say that was John F. Kennedy. Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. How far the Democratic Party has changed.
I think that was
and so
I think the delay is very extreme here, Neil. Thank you, Neil. But you're going into a monologue. I have to get all of us to speak a little bit. I apologize. Just let me break up the monologue for a second. Okay, so
no worries.
I hear. Sorry, thank you. Here in the chat, we have Schizo. He says, Amira, do you believe that Israel should move all the Palestinians to the north of Israel, give them their own country, and build a DMZ between the two? That Israel should move all the Palestinians to the northern Israel? So, I see what you're saying. So let's do a North Korea, South Korea all over again. No. First of all, that would never work because they wouldn't even agree on where to divide that land, especially because you have to remember Israeli land is holy land because you have Bethlehem, you have basically all the holy lands of the Abrahamic religions right there. So there would not be any agreement on where to divide the land in the first place. So no, Schizo, that cannot happen. Vape King says, many believe that Obama was the big change that started the ball rolling, and he really was. Do you guys, now that it's in the past, when it was happening, none of us saw it. But now that we look back, Obama, I believe that all the big, all the big scumbags, all the big politicians of the world, they saw Obama as a Trojan horse to take all of the ideologies, all the bad things that they wanted to push into society, the things that they knew would be negative to society, but they wanted to push it through him because he was seen as such a positive. Do you know what I mean? So using Obama as a positive face, as a face of hope and change, and then pushing all of these things that they know would be damaging to society, but would bring them loads of money later on. I think that's why they used Obama. I think Obama was used for many of those nefarious means and deeds and ideologies. This is the reason why you saw that Obama was completely against gay marriage before he became president. And then in 2013, all of a sudden he says, oh, let's make gay marriage legal, completely legal in the United States, when you were the one who said that you would never, ever stand for gay marriage, that you said you believe marriage is between a man and a woman. So like I said, I believe that Obama was the Trojan horse, and they used him because he was a sign of hope and change, and that's the reason why they were able to do all the things that they were able to do with him. It's sad. It's very sad. And now Obama is just continuing the ball rolling because Trump is the only politician that has entered into the presidency and left the presidency in a poorer condition than when he entered. He was richer before he became president. He's the only person to do that because everyone else, like Obama, came into the presidency as Big Mike, Big Mike. But anyway, everybody else came into, sorry, everybody, a Savage looked at me like, what just, sorry. Everybody else entered the presidency or the Oval Office in a more or less millionaire state or maybe under millionaire, and they all leave multimillionaires. How does that happen on a salary of, I'm just, that's what I'm saying. And Trump is the only one who entered richer than when he left. I'd rather stand with the guy who got poorer from the presidency than the people who got richer after being president. He's a gay Muslim. Obama has never been a Muslim. Obama is not a Muslim. There's no way he could be a Muslim with a man for a wife. That just doesn't happen. So no, there's never any way that Obama was a Muslim. But him being gay, oh yes, I definitely believe that he's gay. I believe that we had our first gay president, and I believe the only reason why he said he wasn't for gay marriage before his presidency was because he knew that majority of America was not for gay marriage at that time. But once he got in, I believe he knew that he was going to change that because he's gay himself. Do you agree, Savage, with me when I say that Obama is gay and because I believe his wife is a man?
Well, I'm aware that his dad, as I recall, is from Kenya, and that his dad was a Muslim, and that his mom was from Kansas or Hawaii. And so I think his dad was Muslim, actually. And then comes, I don't think that Obama actually registers as Muslim is true. And
That's
then
right.
came, I'm not sure about whether or not he was gay. I'll be honest with you that he has such a politically correct relay for how he speaks so slow that it's maybe easy to assume that he is. But I saw the Tucker Carlson, interview about some gay interaction, but it's kind of suspect or sus that it took this long for it to come out before an interview comes out where it's been like nobody vetted this before kind of thing. So
No, Savage. No, the reason why we say he's gay is not because of how he talked. It's because there's many reasons. There was a man who came out later after Obama left his presidency in his second term. He came out later and confessed that he and Obama used to do drugs together, snort coke together, that Obama would come to his house at all hours of the morning asking to come in and do things with him, that they actually had a relationship. And there have been pictures of them two together and so on. These are the reasons why because it never came out during his presidency because, I don't know, I mean, I guess you had to keep him clean while he was president. But once he was out, all these people came out of the woodwork and started talking. The other reason I say that he's gay is because many times he has slipped up and called his wife Mike. Instead of calling her Michelle, he's called her Mike. And there is no man in history who has ever, Savage, you're Arab, right? You see my name. My name is Amira, right? What is the masculine form of my name? Amir, right? Never in history has my husband actually slipped up and called me Amir. Never. That's because that never happens. And for this man to not only slip up once or twice, but 3 times publicly and call his wife Mike, this is the reason why. And another reason is because if you see Big Mike, if you see some of his clothing, you can see there's a bulge down there. No matter what clothing I wear, Savage and Neil and Chat and Carrie, no matter what clothes you guys ever see me wearing, you will never, and I mean never, ever see a bulge coming from my nether region. Because you want to know why? Because I'm not a man. There's nothing bulging down there. Okay? So the fact that you just, and Michelle Obama, Big Mike, having a bulge as a woman, supposedly, there's no, listen, I don't care what anyone says. And another reason, Savage, I have so many reasons, Savage, I can go on and on, but here's another reason, and I'll stop. The other reason, we have never seen Michelle Obama's baby pictures. We've never seen her pregnant. Have you ever seen her pregnant? Where's her pregnant pictures? Every woman has pictures with the belly. We don't see pregnancy pictures. We never see it. And that's why I said is not a woman. This is the biggest lie that's been told. Joanne Rivers. Do you know Joanne Rivers? You know who that is? Joanne Rivers was a comedian, a white woman, old white woman comedian who was very crude and very, she told the truth a lot, okay, in her comedy. But she came out one day randomly and said that Michelle Obama was a man. Within 3 months, she was dead. It may have been sooner than that. She was after she said that. So, hearing all that, Savage, you know, in court, we have a thing called offer of proof. Joanne, I call her Joanne. Is it Joan? Joan. Okay, Joanne, Joan, whatever. But in court, we have a thing called offer of proof, Savage. When you, as an attorney or as a defendant, when you try to make a claim that is out of nowhere, the judge will tell you to make an offer of proof. And that will be the way that the judge will allow you to keep making this ridiculous claim, is if you make an offer of proof. I have given you 4 offers of proof, Savage. Do you believe me when I say that Michelle Obama is a man?
There's probably even one more offerance of truth. Wasn't there a large black male cook who happened to be out hanging out with Obama for a while, and then he ends up dead, face down, and they don't understand what happened? That this guy was saying, they were out there together, and then supposedly they were swimming, and then he didn't make it. I mean, I think that's like the 5th one in sequence with all of yours, in which case I call it preponderance of the evidence, and I'm pondering the evidence now, and it's kind of hard to argue. Except I was going to bring up that Michelle has kids, but the way you brought it up with no pictures would have been like,
I'm telling you,
it's a tough one there.
Listen, I'm telling you, and Nuka.
I saw the swinging video, so I've seen that one before. I thought maybe it was digitized. I couldn't tell, although I didn't see any.
No.
Yeah, that's.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't, Savage. There was nothing digital about it. It was all natural. It was natural.
Oh, yikes.
I can't. Listen, and this would never listen with a full. A homegrown woman, a woman that's not created in a lab, or a homegrown woman, a woman that was once a little girl, once a little baby with a pink hat on her head. That's me. I was once the baby with the pink hat, because I'm not a lab grown woman. I'm a homegrown woman, natural in the garden. I would never have anything swinging in my nether regions because I'm a homegrown woman. Michelle Obama, I know. And the thing is, anytime anybody says this, they say you're racist. You're racist for claiming that Michelle. I'm gonna mute your mic just for a second. But yeah, it's just the feedback. But anytime anybody says this, they say it's racist, because they're saying, oh, because she's black, you're saying that she's not feminine. Because she's dark skinned, you're saying she's not feminine. No, it has nothing to do with her skin color or her being black. I understand some women have manly figures. I mean, look at Venus and Serena, the tennis players, the black tennis players, famous ones. Venus and Serena look like Olympian men in the body, okay? And I've never questioned if they were women. Never in my life have I ever questioned if Venus or Serena was a man or a woman. I understand that they're women, even though they have bodies that are built like, So it has nothing to do with her being black, dark skin, or having a big body, because she is bigger than Obama. That's not the reason why. It's the reasons that I told you. No pregnancy pictures, the bulges in the crotch area, Obama calling her Mike 3 times publicly, which means that he calls her Mike more often than that privately. Because whatever you say publicly, you do 10 times more privately. So him calling her Mike, and the stories about that man who knew Obama, who had pictures showing the two of them together and talking about their drug escapades and their sexual escapades that they had. These are the reasons why I say, oh, and Joan Rivers being deleted after saying that Michelle Obama is a man. So I think I've said enough today to get me banned. So I think I will go ahead and take off now. I think my work here is done. My job here is done. I have done enough to irritate the YouTube overlords, and I think I will take a rest now.
Well done.
Savage.
I've been like Amira for Senate, and been like Amira for Senate for sure, and like go Amira.
Listen, my key thing for my run for Senate, I'm gonna be like, everybody say Amira for. Oh, not that way. I mean, all right, whatever. We'll figure out a hand signal. We'll find a hand signal that's not so controversial. We'll figure out something.
How about just one up? And then like Amira for Senate.
Yeah, let's do this one. Yeah, that one. Not. All right. Thank you, Savage, for joining me. Bye.
Thanks for having me on. Take care.
No problem. It's always a pleasure, Savage. You are always crazy. Thank you, Neil, for joining us. Thank you so much. I will see you on the next one. Oh, there's a delay. I know he has a delay. It's okay, Neil. I was saying goodbye. I hope you can see me. But all right, guys. Thank you all for joining me. I will catch you all on the next one. I appreciate you spending your time with me. I hope I have it. Oh, how could I forget? Okay, listen. So wait, before you go, there was one last thing I wanted to tell you about. Okay, wait. Okay, ready? Okay, so listen. Back, you guys remember on Thursday, right? I came on Thursday and I gave you guys the topic about P. Diddy and the cartel, right? The P. Diddy and the cartel. Do you guys remember that the Sinaloa cartel is, they have a lawsuit against P. Diddy, Puff Daddy himself, for $666,000 because of a deal that went bad, blah, 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 whatever. But the reason I wanted to bring this up to you, and I forgot to bring it up to you guys on Thursday, was because 666 was used in the lawsuit. 666 was used in the lawsuit. And I don't know. I wanted to share with you guys. I don't know if that's a message to P. Diddy that the Sinaloa cartel wants to have revenge now, or I don't know what it means. But the fact that the lawsuit specified $666,000 when $666,000 is nothing for the Sinaloa cartel, it tells you something, right? It tells you, you know what I mean? And Latinos, especially Mexicans and mafioso Mexicans, are very much into dark spirituality, dark magic, using El Muerte. Do you guys know what El Muerte is? They use the death. They use death and they use certain things. So anyway, the fact that was there, I meant to tell you guys about that. So, okay. Now I got that off. I just wanted to tell you guys on the day, but I absolutely forgot because we had so much that we were talking about today. You guys know, every single time I start talking to you guys throw me off. I forget the topic and I start talking about other things. So I know, that's what I was saying, Yaku. That's what I'm saying. So they are, this was like a beef, as they say, a beef that had died out, but it has revived itself now because P. Diddy is being exposed this year. Just like Cat Williams said, 2024 is a year of exposing. So, yeah. Oh, Neil. Hi, Neil. He says, I could see and hear you. I had to drop out because my car system started interfering with the video feed. Oh, I'm sorry. It's always technology, not acting right. Schizo says Santa Muerte. Thank you. I said El Muerte, but you understand. They use Santa Muerte and they use death. They'll pray to the devil, but the reason why they pray to the devil is for riches, fame, and sometimes obsession. But yeah, you pray for the devil for certain things, but you pray for the devil for reasons that are vain, for vain reasons, and also for hate. If you hate something or you hate somebody, you use Santa Muerte. So, yeah. You said Sinaloa cartel is known for satanic rituals. I wouldn't doubt it. I definitely. All right then. Bye, guys. No, but I didn't mention that, Aaron. I wanted to, but I didn't. I completely forgot. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I appreciate you all. I know I kept on singing again. Yes, the cards. Yes. Very nice. Very nice. I'm just looking at your guys' comments and reading your guys' comments. What said, this is fun to listen to. Why? I don't understand why. Thank you guys. Anyway, let me go. Okay. All right. Wait, what did you say? You said, oh, because she has wide shoulders and not wide hips. That's why you think Michelle Obama is a man? Because of what? But there are women out there, like I gave you guys the example of Venus and Serena. They don't have wide hips. Well, actually, their hips are wide, but their shoulders are wider. And never once has anyone questioned their womanhood. No one has ever said that they're men. But Michelle Obama, there's reasons. I listen, when you see Michelle Obama, listen, women have a certain scent. Women have a smell. You guys know what I'm talking about? Women have a smell. It's a natural thing that women have. And a woman can feel by the scent of another woman if it's not a real woman, because men have a smell too. And there is something, when I look at Michelle Obama, I just refuse to believe that she smells like a woman. I don't think that it smells like a woman. That's all I'm saying. It's just, that's how a lot of women, when they're in like dressing rooms, changing rooms, and areas where there's a transsexual, a lot of us can feel by their skin or their smell that they're not real women. Because women, when we sit next to each other, I know it's a strange thing to bring up, but Aaron, the ladies here, if you're being honest, you would tell the truth. When you're sitting next to another woman, there's something, I don't know if it's pheromones or what, but you can tell that that's a woman because we have feminine scent. Like, we smell like women, and we feel our skin is different from the man's skin too. Our skin is different. So women can sense when another person that is there is not a woman. When it's a man posing as a woman, we can feel it. We can smell it. We can, yeah. I know it's a weird thing to bring up, but women aren't stupid. I don't think Michelle Obama is a woman. I just don't. I just don't. I guess I would have to be next to him to smell him and see if it's true, but I just don't. I refuse to believe. Like I said, I want to see some pregnancy pictures. I want to see belly. I need to see baby bump. And even then, I would think it's AI. I would still think it was AI. I need to see baby bump holding that day's newspaper. Holding that day's newspaper. Anyway, bye guys. I will see you all probably Saturday, because I think this week I'm going to be in hiding, because this week is going to be a warm week. So because of the weather being warm, I don't think that I'll show up on Thursday. I might, but I most likely won't, because when it tends to be hotter, I go into hiding. I just do. So I'll probably see you guys not until next Saturday. But nonetheless, if something else happens this week, if something goes down this week, which it may, happen because it's election season, then I'll come earlier, but most likely I'll just come back on Saturday. But I will see you guys then. Have a great week, everybody. Behave yourselves as much as you can. And I will see you all on the next one. And with that, I yield my time. Good night, everybody.